95 for Gaming Dad 101, the show where gamers became dads and are now looking for cheat codes. If you're brand new to the show, Gaming Dad 101 goes live on Wednesdays as a podcast and on Fridays as a video on YouTube. Joining me today on this episode is my co-host Pikachu.
Hey, Pika, Pika, Pika!
Kidding, Ricky. What's going on, man?
What's going on, everybody?
So, how you feeling, Ricky? Hopefully better. Death literally crawled into you last week and ripped you apart.
You are not lying. I felt horrible. For those that were wondering what the heck happened and what health issues were going on, I ended up catching strep throat. Don't know how. Don't know from where.
It wasn't even like strep throat. It was like super strep throat.
No, yeah, it was like super duper strep throat. Basically, quick rundown. Initial antibiotics that I received, I took them for 4 days consecutively. Did not do anything at all. So everything just basically got progressively worse. It was like if I was not taking anything, and your imagination can just go from there.
Yeah.
My throat was completely horrible, completely white all the way down.
I felt so bad, man. I saw that picture.
Dude, I felt like death. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said death crawled into you and ripped you apart.
Oh, like, no, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I was no way, shape, or form underselling. Yeah. But I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're back and you're feeling better. I am glad
I am back.
Yeah, no, I was a bit under the weather last week too, but we're not going to get too much into that. But yeah, it was a weird week last week, and everything just kind of coincided at the very last second. And it was like, yeah, well, I guess we're missing the show this week. Wonderful. That's great news. All right, cool. Whatever. I just kind of tossed everything up in the air. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm done. So it happens, man.
Yep.
So, but I'm glad you're back. So the one thing it did do, it allowed me to play more games, particularly Link's Awakening. So I appreciate that. I appreciated that. So it worked out. It was kind of nice. Yeah. So can't complain.
Oh, that was the other thing.
I'm loving the game, dude.
I forgot that's what I had played too.
What happened?
Oh, I just remember another game that I played during the time that I was down.
Nice. Yeah, I saw one that we have in common. So Link's Awakening, real quick. I have 2 dungeons left, and then I can go ahead and finish the game. I'm super excited. I don't know what the hell's happening. I've never played this game before. If you haven't played it, go play it. If you've played it, go play it again. I really love it. Now, I may be a little biased because I love Zelda so much, and I've been very vocal about that, but it's a very good game. I'm having a lot of fun. So even like realistically, like the only complaint that anybody's had about this game is the frame rate issue. Really? Not even a problem for me. Yeah, because I'm assuming because of the limitations for the Switch, depending on where you are and how many things are on the screen, you will drop a little bit. And you can see the drop, and it's noticeable. Part of it is because there's constantly an effect on the border of the frames to kind of make it look like a motion blur kind of. So it just follows you everywhere. So that's constantly on. And depending on the number of bad guys, it kind of taxes the system a little bit. So you see it drop from like 60 to like 30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you see it every now and then. It goes up and it goes down. But it's not that big of a problem. I've noticed that it's really rampant in like certain parts of the map. So I'm kind of like, all right, whatever. I kind of got used to it. But overall, like the game is so charming that it kind of like negates everything. So it's kind of cool. Again, I'm totally biased because I love Zelda so much, but go check it out. I really highly recommend it.
Okay.
It's a nice, like I didn't know how I'd react going from Breath of the Wild to top down. Yeah. So it was a very nice transition. I'm not even gonna lie. It was second nature. I was like, all right, yeah, no, this is cool. Totally love it. So highly recommend it. What about you, Ricky? What have you played?
I've actually played 3 different games.
Start with the one that we have in common last. Like, leave that one for last.
I'll leave that one for last. Basically, during the time that I was out, I got to put myself into just playing Batman Arkham Knight again. For some reason.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for some reason I just got back on that mood of just going back and playing the Batman series.
Was it the Batman anniversary? Because that totally did it for me, and I almost did the same.
Actually, no. It was because Epic gave me the games.
Yes, for the anniversary.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I downloaded
it. I already 10th anniversary for Batman Arkham Asylum or something.
One of them. They gave me one of them, I just felt like the kick to just go back and play it. I already had started Arkham Knight. I was probably about 24 hours into that game already.
Yeah.
Just by playing all the side missions and everything, and think I'm now up to like 40 something hours into the game.
Nice.
I'm like halfway done with the extra story mode itself. But yeah, it was just fun. You know, it was on the PC, so I know that it was originally it was one of the original bad ports that came out, you know, from the consoles over to PC, but they've completely updated it. It works perfectly fine for those that wanted to try it out.
For those that had a nightmare when it first came out for PC, because that was that was a disaster.
Don't get me wrong, it still has like a very few times it actually does drop frames to like 9 frames, but it's only for a split moment and then it comes back up. But
still weird though.
Yeah, it's still weird.
How's it been this long and it still has an issue?
Well, I guess it just performance throttle your system like crazy for specific portions, especially when you're driving the vehicle. But yeah, and then just because I was playing with the iPhone, with the new iOS update that they did with the 13, you are now able to pair a actual gamepad controller. So I went ahead and paired my PS4 controller to it. One of the games that
it was Apple, so it was super simple.
Oh yes, dude.
That's the one thing I hate about Apple versus PC. So everything's a lot simpler on Apple. I will give them that.
I mean, for this whole time, we weren't able to connect the controller until now. But yeah, no, I got it hooked up. It was actually fairly simple. For those that were curious, all you do is just hit the PS button at the very bottom and then your share button. You hold them together at the same time for probably about 5 seconds. And you, of course, just make sure that you have Bluetooth on your phone and it'll connect via Bluetooth. That simple.
Nice.
Yeah, and I downloaded Asphalt 9. It's a racing game on the phone. Dude, I love playing it because I am able to actually play with the gamepad and I'm not like restricted to like my thumbs being on the screen and covering like majority of the screen and whatnot, like trying to press boost, but because it's a touchscreen phone, I'm touching a wrong button by accident, or I'll hit the brake by accident and I'm like, no. Or it wants to
you're constantly having to recenter your thumb so that you're in a better position so you're not blocking. Yeah.
Especially if your thumb starts getting a little sweaty and a little, you start getting all the how do you call that? The smudges. Damn it. You start smudging your screen, so it's like, it's not grabbing my thumb reading. So
okay.
but yeah, so I highly recommend playing, grabbing a controller and connecting to your phone. It gives you that much more experience on your phone. I mean, I enjoyed the games a lot more. Then the next game that I also decided to try was Mario Kart Tours on the iPhone.
Let's hear it.
On the iPhone.
You tried it on iPhone, all right? Yep. Fine. I tried it on Android, so we have two different systems.
We have 2 different systems.
Okay. Tell me about your experience, Ricky.
My experience, the game runs phenomenal. I'll give you that. The game runs smooth. I have no issues with it. Now the controller schemes, they only give you 2 style controller scheme. You can either do a drift mode for turning, or you can just
is like the pro mode.
Yep. Or you can simply just do the turning, and you can still do drifting with the turning mode. A lot of people complain because they can't. No, just turn it further more and it'll jump into a drift. It's okay in that concept. I wasn't like, oh my god, it didn't blow my mind. At the end of the day, it's a Mario Kart game. If you enjoy the Mario Kart game, you will enjoy this. Now, the cons that I truly had against it is that you have to unlock each individual freaking character one by one. It's now tied behind a freaking paywall system.
Yep.
Where if you want to get more characters, okay, you are going to have to spend money. And
Well, you can do it for free, but basically
Yeah.
the way that they've structured it is you're going to be playing for a very,
Oh yeah, you're
very,
gonna play for
very
a
long
very long
time.
time because I think each race gives you about 1 to 2 coins, depending. At first, okay, it's like, oh yeah,
And you
here's 5 coins, here's 4 coins, and then it just kind of progressively starts getting
and
less
you need
and
like
less.
500 coins or
Yeah,
something
and you need
to
a
get a new character. I
ridiculous
think it
amount.
is.
I can't remember anymore, but
So
yeah, you
here,
need.
let me give you my impressions on it because you have actually given a very thorough and thought out review.
Oh, I
I
still got more.
hated it. Oh no, I know.
Really?
I hated it. I didn't even make it past the tutorial because the control schemes for it were such a pain in the butt that I just like I didn't care. I didn't like it in drift mode. I didn't like it in simple mode. I was like, what the hell is this crap? And I uninstalled it.
Well,
Literally played it for
you
like
also
two.
have gyro mode if you decided to try it. I don't know if
Yeah,
you.
I found out about that this morning, but put it this way, I don't care. I
Okay, fair
really do
enough.
not. Because here's the other thing that, and you didn't mention this part yet, and I'm sure that you were going to get to it, not even multiplayer friendly. So, like, you're
No.
playing by yourself. It makes it look like you're playing with other people, but you're playing by yourself.
Yep.
And I'm just disappointed in Nintendo because at this point, Nintendo's done so much good, and then they come up with this crap. Like, what did I like about, like, Dr. Mario? Love that app. I still play that app literally daily. And what do I love about it? The versus mode. I like jumping into that. But how do you have a Mario Kart game without a versus mode? Period.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I understand maybe like not like open to everybody, but at the very least, I should be able to challenge you.
Yep. No, I
Yeah.
completely agree. One of the other things that I did dislike about it is the microtransaction aspect.
Yep.
They also tie you. So I believe, yeah, okay. So the free versions is your 50 cc's, and then the what is it? The 150 cc's is the next one. After that,
Sure. I didn't check the game, so I'm
okay.
not even sure.
Well, whatever on the Mario Kart games for those that play it often. I can't
I
never
think it's
remember.
50, 100, 150, 200.
Okay. Well, the 200 version or the 250 version is
Mm-hmm.
locked behind a membership subscription.
Oh,
That
that's
is
right. I
four
forgot
bucks a
about that.
month just for you to be able to access the
A
two.
month.
Yes, two
See, this is why
four
this
ninety nine
is
a month to be able to access the 200 cc or the 250, whatever it is. What
yeah,
you
like the highest circuit. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't
the
matter what
only
the
thing
number is.
that
It's
gives you
just
different between the free version is it gives you some kind of gold items. I'm not 100% sure exactly what they do or what kind of benefits it gives you because I am not paying no damn
yeah, no, forget
five
it. It ain't
bucks a
worth it.
month for that.
I would pay
But
five
yeah,
dollars for the app. I would even pay $10 for the app.
as a
You know, if
standalone
I enjoyed
purchase,
it.
yes.
Yeah, as a standalone purchase. Yeah, not as a monthly
Oh
subscription.
hell
What the
no.
hell is that?
No, yeah, no, I will never do a monthly subscription. But yeah, so that's basically my review on the Mario Kart game on the iPhone version.
So we have somebody who was okay with it,
Yeah.
and somebody who's telling you to just go ahead and uninstall it because this is an insult. Like realistically, and I didn't realize I felt this passionate about it until we were getting ready to have like until the possibility of two different views came up. I was like, yeah, no, I really am passionate about how much I hate this game. Uninstall it because that's the only way Nintendo's going to realize that this sort
Yeah.
of crap is not going to fly. Because what it boils down to is that it does feel like an outrageous to like grab for your money with very little gain on our end. So yeah, we can play Mario Kart, but you know what? I play Mario Kart on my Switch, a portable, handheld, way easier, way more fun with a whole mess of like people, and I can actually play multiplayer with my friends.
Yep.
So to me, at this point, the cons do not outweigh the pros in this particular version in this particular mobile game.
Oh yeah, no.
So to me, I just went ahead and uninstalled because this is not what I'm going to support. I'm going to support good games, and again, Dr. Mario. I still play Dr. Mario daily. This is something that I enjoy, and it's literally like I have 2-3 minutes to kill. All right, cool. Dr. Mario, pop in, play a couple rounds. I'm done. I'm back out, and I'm back the next day.
Fun fact.
Don't feel like they're trying to take my money, and I'm more willing to give them my money in that particular case. You know.
Fun fact. I believe that Dr. Mario has been the least money maker for Nintendo.
Yes, Firehouse. No, not Firehouse.
Yes, Fire
Firehouse
Emblem.
sucks. Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem has actually been their most
I'm
profitable.
thinking of sandwiches. My apologies.
Has been
Yeah,
their.
Fire Emblem was the one that's it's made over like what $6 billion or something like that. I think it was.
I don't know about 6 billion, but yes, it has
No, no,
made
no,
it.
million. No,
It,
it has
it reached
more than
it
billion.
reached no it reached a billion
Now I
dollars,
need
I
to know.
believe. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, but they introduced microtransactions into that one, and they just completely. I guess they just got the taste for it, and they just completely went crazy with Mario Kart, and yeah, no, the microtransactions on it are stupid. I believe you can buy like the cheapest one is like 300 coins that you can buy for $1.99, but you need a minimum of 500 to be able to unlock a specific character, and then the chances to be able to get like your top performing characters, basically like your Mario, your Bowser's, your
yeah, the
Daisy,
ones that you actually
you
want and
actually
would
want
actually, pay for.
their chances on you actually getting those game or those characters are a 1% chance. So that means you have to spend.
That is
Yes, that means
ridiculous.
you have to technically spend about $100 plus to be able to get the
Just to get a
chance.
chance to
Just to
get
yes,
one.
just to get
Yeah,
one of them.
no, forget it. I'm out. Uninstall this game. That's my recommendation.
But yeah,
I
so
already did.
no, yeah. I mean, as a game alone, if you have a couple minutes, if you want to try it, I mean, try it. The mechanics are there, and it works fine as an overall game. But it has a
Works
lot of.
fine. For anybody who can't see me, air quotes. Man, I don't know. I really don't understand how anybody can steer that way and the way they designed it.
I mean, I was
I'm
doing good.
disappointed. I was hoping for more. Were you?
Yeah, I mean, I kept going. I kept coming in first place.
Nice. I've actually heard people who were like, "Yeah, no, I've just kind of stopped touching and I just kept going forward because it auto
Oh yeah,
accelerates
no,
too."
it does auto
So
accelerate. It does have that.
it wasn't. And Fire Emblem has made over 500 billion.
Yes.
So that's the number that we both grossly got completely incorrect in
I'm
a
like,
massive
nah, it's
showing
a
of how bad
billion.
our memory is. So, all right. Well, as we know, we're going to go ahead and start the show, but we always start with our very, very, very dear to our heart segment.
I know, right?
Ricky, tell us, why are we going to go broke this week?
This week we're going broke because of Alliance Alive HD Remaster coming out for the PS4 Switch on October the 8th. We have Concrete Genie coming out
I'm
for
actually excited about Concrete Genie.
Are you?
I actually want to check it out. It looks really cool.
Okay.
It actually looks really interesting. It's very like I really like the art in it, and it's I don't know, the concept of the gameplay seems very interesting. So I want to check that one out. So don't be surprised if I randomly I totally am
I
playing
mean,
this.
they have shown a lot of gameplay, and it is a beautiful looking game when
Yes, that's for sure.
they showed it out on PX Packs or whatever it's called. Or
Taxis. I
yeah,
know that they showed some in Paris Games Week, I believe. As
and
well.
on no, not E3. They showed it on State of Game, whatever it's called. Whenever they did
State of
their own,
Play.
yeah, there you go. That comes out. Technically, that came out today, the day we're recording.
Nice.
And then Indivisible coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, PC on October the 8th. We also have Train 4, The Nightmare Prince, coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, PC, and the Switch on October the 8th. And finishing it off with Grid for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October the 8th.
Man. So it's not too bad a week. But
No, it's not too bad of a week.
all right, well, let's go ahead and get into the news with what I'm calling like PlayStation Bonanza, man, because it's been nothing but PlayStation for the last like week and a half, and I've been dying to come talk to everybody about it. But more importantly, now that we have even more freaking news, that some of it that just came out today on the day that we're recording, this is freaking awesome. But let's go ahead and get started with like the way I've put this is kind of like in like interest level. So we're going to start with the low hype, all right? And even then, the low hype is pretty big hype. We finally have the date for The Last of Us 2. It's announced to February 21st, 2020. So part of what happened this month through the free PlayStation games, they came out with The Last of Us. So anybody who has not played that, you have no excuse at this point,
Yep.
all right?
It's a really good game, guys. and
I don't like
ladies.
zombies. I hate zombie games. I never wanted to play them. I actually forced myself to finish this because the story is so good. So even if it's not your type of game, believe me, it's a really great story. So check it out. So obviously, hyping up for The Last of Us 2.
Hmm.
Do you first of all, Ricky, are you excited? And then second question, follow up to that, do you think it'll make the date, or are they actually going to have to push it back?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, could it be delayed, or
Well,
is it actually going to happen?
I definitely do want to pick it up because I did play the original one on the PlayStation 4, and I love the game. I mean, it has a beautiful story. The way that both the characters interacted together, the father and daughter figure that they chemistry that they had going on, just made me fall in love with the game itself. Yeah, the game had a couple flaws here and there, but just the art concept and the story was basically what took me over the edge with it. Is this game gonna make it on release date?
Yeah, is it
Um,
going to be on time, or is it going to be delayed?
I think it's gonna be on time.
You think so?
I think so. They've had plenty of time, and I think this is the first or second time that they pushed this game, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
No, this is
this
the first. No, this is
game.
the first time they give the date.
This is the first time they give a date. Yeah, so they haven't pushed it
What?
back. That's my
Oh my
point.
God! What
Do you
game am
think
I
they'll make
mistaken
it,
again?
or have they learned from previous mistakes of announcing games too early and actually
Ooh.
have this like down packed, or is it going to be pushed? I think it gets pushed. I think it gets pushed by a few weeks up to a month.
Okay.
That's my guess.
You know
It's a
what?
very crappy guess, and I hope it doesn't come true. To be honest with you,
I'm
again,
gonna
I'm
go
not a
with.
fan of zombies. I actually even told my wife, like at the time we were dating when this came out, I was like, I hate playing this game because of all the zombies, but damn it, is that story good? I need to know how it ends.
No, I'm gonna say it's gonna come out on time.
All right, well, we'll see how it comes out and what we're gonna check out. So, first news story, again, little hype, but still pretty big hype. Second, PlayStation grabs and does something that is basically a giant middle finger to GameStop, and they open up their own retail space. So now you can order. Well,
Come
they've
on,
always
Chris.
had their own retail space. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it because I know you were gonna cut that. Anyway, so now you're gonna be able to order the PlayStation hardware from their own site, and basically telling GameStop again, go f yourselves because why are they needed anymore? If more things like this happen, this is just cutting right into the business of GameStop. This is, in my eyes, this is PlayStation straight up saying, no, we really don't need GameStop. Between our own store, Amazon, and Walmart, we're covered.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the way that feels. What do you
Yeah,
think?
pretty much. I mean, hopefully, and by them having their own store, they can kind of control the prices a little bit more. Um,
Yeah, but also potentially that could screw us over a lot too. So
that's what I'm saying.
it's
They can
still a good
control.
thing.
That's what I mean by them able to control the prices a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, because they can just basically gouge us with the damn prices and try to pull a damn Nintendo where freaking Nintendo now the prices don't ever come down for like 3-5 years later, still a $60 game.
But you're not bitter, not at all. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit,
Just a little bit.
just a smidge.
Nah, but yeah, no. I mean, it's cool. I did actually log into their website. That you get a chance to actually log into it.
No, I have not.
It's set up pretty decently. I mean, it's you scroll through the page. It's divided of hey, if you want, the consoles, click here to view all consoles. If you want to get games, here's our plan. Here's our most playable game or most enjoyable games. Like it gives you like a recommendation of like their games of the year and all that fun stuff. It gives you access to their peripherals, like your gaming headsets,
Your
controllers.
VR for $349 with
Yeah.
Blood and Truth and everybody's golf VR included.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the store.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, it's set up. It's user friendly the way that it's basically set up. I have no issues with it.
yeah, it's not
Um,
bad.
Getting something directly from the manufacturer, I want to see how their return policies are actually gonna work out. What kind of warranties they're actually gonna give us, compared
Well, I
to.
mean, PlayStation already sells an extended warranty that you can purchase through their store. At least they did at some point.
Correct, but I'm
So
talking about like dealing directly with the manufacturer.
yeah,
Normally,
I
we've
think
always had to deal with third parties.
I don't know. I think it'd be. I feel like it'd be faster. To be
I
honest with you,
hope.
you would
I
hope. I
hope.
mean, the benefit is that dealing with the manufacturer directly is that we're going to have to mail anything to get fixed.
Yep.
The difference between having GameStop available is that I could literally get my system, go to GameStop, be like, dude, this is not working, and then just give me a new one and go home. And that's it. And I already have my new replacement. So that it's going to be a give and take, but I'm very interested. And the fact is, if they cut out GameStop completely or they cut out the third man completely and they're able to just sell it off their store, I feel like it'll improve. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they're going to be gaining more revenue. They're not going to losing revenue to third parties, and they might be able to hopefully cross your fingers improve the experience for the consumer. So
Hopefully,
that's what
they even drop the prices, less overhead.
that's exactly. So it's things of that nature. So I'm kind of hoping that that's part of it, and that it and that it is included in the bundle. But anyway, so again, now we go to like the bigger one, a little slightly bigger. So Sony announced that the version 7 of the PlayStation 4 Remote Play has finally come out. And here's the kicker: it's finally on Android. So if you have an Android device that uses Android 5.0 or higher, you should be able to install the Remote Play and actually be able to use it to play your games on your mobile device. I'm actually very excited about this. And then Ricky burst on my bubble and told me, "Oh yeah, I had it on iOS in the beginning of the year." Yeah, well, Ricky, it's on Android now. All right, like,
Guess what? Guess what?
guess what? I have it now too.
And I uninstalled it from my phone.
Did you?
It
Oh,
wasn't. I
that's
mean,
terrible.
I guess it's pretty cool if I need to play it at home or whatever.
Yeah.
But I have plenty of TVs where I am not in the need to actually play it on the
What happens when
phone.
you go to the John, Ricky? What happens when you go to the John?
That's why I have the Switch, man. I just switch
Fair
from
enough.
this controller to this controller.
Oh man.
But yeah, now, I mean, I can check it out again, re-download it to see what kind of updates they done on it. I wasn't too impressed. I mean, it was a little laggy when I first downloaded it at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched that ever since, so I can't tell you what current state it's currently on. But yeah, I think we should probably do a dual comparison again. You using Android and me using the iPhone, and see what kind
I'm
of
down.
performance difference we get.
Yeah, we should. So we'll be coming back on you on that one. I know also too, and since we're on the topic, I know I've promised a video for the unboxing of the Switch Lite. I can't get to edit it, so Ricky, I'm gonna need your help with that.
That's fine. Send it
Dude,
over, bud.
I don't know what the hell's happening with it, and it won't convert. Anyway, that should have been for behind the scenes. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. So next story, this one's even bigger. So now we're starting to get into like the big hype. Sean Layden departs Sony Interactive Entertainment. No word yet on future plans. New chairman for SIE Worldwide Studios. So this is an article, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read the article off of GameIndustry.biz from Rebecca Valentine. Sony Interactive Entertainment's, or ISE, Sean Layden is leaving the company after decades in various roles and 3 years as the chairman of Worldwide Studios. It is with great emotion that we announced that Worldwide Studios chairman Sean Layden will be departing SIE. There was a tweet from the official PlayStation account today. Quote, his visionary leadership will be greatly missed. We wish him success in future endeavors and are deeply grateful for this years of service. Thanks for everything, Sean. End quote. No details were offered as to the reasoning for Layden's departure, any future plans for the former Sony boss, or who his replacement at Sony will be. Layden has worked in various departments at Sony since 1980s, entering executive roles as VP of Sony Computer Entertainment in Europe in 1999 and taking over as president of Sony Computer Entertainment Japan in 2007. He worked his way up through the roles of COO, president, and CEO of PlayStation from 2010 to 2016, when he finally took on his most recent role as chairman of SIE Worldwide Studios. So, Sean Layden, one of the visionaries behind the PlayStation 4 and getting us to where PlayStation is now, leaving on the heels of the next couple of announcements that we're going to talk about. How do you feel about this, Ricky? Like, are you aware of his contribution, like, where Sean Layden?
Not at all.
So for me, man, he's going to be missed, and mainly I've always liked the way he presents himself at the E3 stage, and that's
Well,
kind of like,
yeah,
you know,
I've
he's.
seen him just in those moments, but that's about it.
It's always sad, man. I don't like change. I don't like people going away and what's going on. Everything was copacetic. Everything was good. What happened, Ricky? I have questions. I want answers.
Fresh ideas, man. We need fresh ideas. PlayStation got too big for their bridges, and they're probably talking about, hey, go ahead and let's do something about it.
Yeah. But you know what, Ricky? They did something about it. They also announced. Yeah, that's a terrible segue.
I know.
They announced.
Trying to come up with something better.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They also announced a new subscription service for their PlayStation Now. So, for years now, literally almost 2 years, I've been talking about how PlayStation Now has been a terrible service. I don't like the whole streaming. I don't like the having to pay per hour. We finally have a monthly subscription for this service, very similar to the way that Xbox Games Pass is set up. So the way that they're doing is $9.99 in the US monthly, $24.99 quarterly, or $60 a year. Okay? So that, first of all, let's go ahead and dig in on the price. Totally fair. I think that it's within the realms of what I expected to pay.
Yep.
I can't wait for PlayStation Online Plus or whatever the hell they call it. PlayStation Plus. Plus, as they like to add pluses. What do you think, Ricky? Price wise, is this something you're gonna get?
The way that I've been doing gaming lately, it's been a minute since I've actually bought a physical game. I've been jumping into more of the subscription kind of bandwagon lately just to try them out. If they give me a free trial, I am willing to jump on there.
There's a
PlayStation,
7-day free trial.
yeah. PlayStation itself, they have a really good library, especially for their PlayStation Now. I was always curious to play a lot of their games, but because their prior subscription style, it really didn't catch my attention because I wasn't going to pay no $4 for
To play it
like
for
2
5
hours.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't
Same
gonna pay.
thing.
I wasn't gonna pay all that stuff. But again, they have games for I believe PS1 if I'm not mistaken. I know for sure it's PS2, PS2, and PS3.
and PS4.
So they have a really big library, and I know that a lot of those games I never got the chance to play. 90, almost 100% of them. No, not 100%, but
Well, here,
a large amount.
Let me read on that too, because this is another quote from the PlayStation blog is, we currently have the largest game library of any console game subscription service with more than 800 games available. Starting today, we're adding more blockbuster content that includes some of the most highly played, critical acclaimed PS4 games ever. Check out the first wave of new content below, which is available for 3 months. So now they're going to have marquee content that is going to be featured for a certain amount of time and then come off the market. These are probably going to be like the newer games. And this is a good example with basically what they're giving. God of War, Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know why they're giving that one because at this point everybody has Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, let's face it. Infamous Second Son, which is a very good game. And Uncharted A Thief's End. Great game.
I haven't played that one, so I'll definitely download that one.
Yeah, perfect way to check it out.
Yep.
These games are going to be available from October 1st, 2019 until January 2nd, 2020. Each month, the service is going to be adding new selection of marquee games that will be available for a limited period. The marquee content is on top of the existing offering of popular evergreen titles that are added to the PS Now on a regular basis. So it is a growing library for $9.99. It has more games currently than the Xbox Games Pass. I've been waiting for this, to be honest with you. I wanted nothing to do with PlayStation Now until they came out with a subscription model. Now we're here. I'm signing up for it. I'll be honest with you. The way my PlayStation Live is set up to renew, I think I'm gonna, like, when it comes to renew time, I'm just gonna pop them both in, and that's it.
There you go. No, yeah. I'll definitely give it a try. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say. It's a subscription model. They have really good freaking games. I mean, it's PlayStation. The prices, they finally came, with market value prices,
Something fair for everybody where they
Exactly.
want to actually contribute.
It's it will undercut some of the other subscribers out there because for example, Ubisoft Plus, or what I say, Uplay Plus, it's the 14 or $15 a month, so that already gives you a $10 or $5 discount, from paying that subscription.
And the number of games is just ridiculous when it comes down to comparison to what you have for the other services. I think that's their biggest advantage, is that they have so many iterations of the PlayStation and so many games in their library that they can just continue to add more and more without barely breaking a sweat. So,
I completely agree.
And then, Ricky, we go to the marquee news of the night. So, we have confirmation for the next PlayStation name. Ladies and gentlemen, the next PlayStation has officially been dubbed. Oh, Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be called the PlayStation 5. Thank you very much. Woo, goodbye. That's all she wrote. We're done here. Everybody have a good night. I predicted that. I got it right. So PlayStation 5 confirmed for holiday 2020. I personally think it's going to be November 2020. Ricky, any guesses?
Holidays. I think it'll be November 2020 sounds good.
All right. That sounds like a good. When they released the PlayStation 4 was in November as well.
Yeah, it'll be around Black Friday time frame, which of course it won't be no Black Friday deals. They'll probably do like some Black Friday bundles.
Black Friday. I think it would probably be like the second week of November at most.
Oh no, yeah, but they'll have it for like Black Friday bundles.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, they'll have bundles.
Oh yeah, and then they'll definitely for Christmas. But yeah, no, I say for safe, I believe it's on November launch as well.
So we also got some news about the controller and another couple of features, which is nice. So the current rumble tech that they have, the controllers have, the DualShock, going away. They're totally getting rid of it. They're replacing it with something that provides haptic feedback. The way that I'm reading this, I think it's going to be more along the lines of the sort of rumble that the Switch has. Closer to what is in the Joy-Cons than anything else. What's wrong, Ricky?
I think just haptic feedback is just a freaking fad.
Why?
Because that's also what they did on the iPhone. They took away their vibration and they gave it haptic feedback. Whenever you touch items or whatever, it's more like a pulsating, not a pulsating, but more of like a sound that gives you like a very slight vibration that says, "Oh, hey, yes, you touch this button. Hi."
And I think that that's an example of it possibly being
it's a new
used
technology,
in a bad
and everybody
way.
wants to implement it. In other words,
But think of it this way. Yeah, it is a new technology that everybody wants to use. But think of it this way: if it's used the way that Nintendo's using it on the Switch, with the power of PlayStation and hell, Xbox, because let's face it, Xbox is probably going to do something similar. You're going to be able to feel a lot more detail because. I don't know if you've played it, the 1-2 Switch game on the Switch, the one with the marbles. So there's a game on the Switch for 1-2 Switch where you grab the Joy-Con and you have to move it around and switch the way I'm holding my hand. You have to move it around like so, right?
And it has marbles, okay.
It has marbles. It makes it feel like there's marbles inside the Joy-Con. Shut up, Ricky. I hate you. And you're supposed to guess how many marbles are on the inside. And it's actually very, it feels very realistic.
Okay.
So it's one of those where I think maybe it's a good thing. I think it's going to be awesome because it's going to give you more. I feel like they're going to be able to do more with it. You know what I mean? It's going to feel more realistic. And then here's the other part that I also found pretty interesting. They're saying that it's going to have adaptive triggers. And what they mean by that is that programmers are actually going to be able to control the
pressure
tension.
point.
The pressure that it's going to take for you to activate the L2 and R2 triggers. So that if you're, for example, pulling a bowstring, you're going to need to use more force than you would pulling a trigger or that you would pulling something else. So I think that that's pretty freaking awesome.
That is.
I also think it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass, but we'll see. I mean, I used to think, when the whole wave of move controls came out, I was super excited. But let's face it, it got to be a pain in the butt. All right, like, we're gamers. We don't want to move that much. We're good. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Let me see. DualShock 4 apparently also is going to be looking a lot like the DualShock 5 is going to look a lot like the DualShock 4. So what that tells me, and the way that I feel, is that no matter what we think, we're still going to have some form of the touchscreen somewhere. Agree? Disagree?
You mean touchpad?
Yeah, the touchpad.
I'm like touchscreen. I'm like, wait, I don't have a touchscreen.
Yeah, no, you're right. Not springy per se, but yeah, the touchpad.
I mean, I honestly don't really use the touchpad that much. They're not even. That's the thing. Not many games.
I want to so bad though. I wish they would implement it better.
Not many games have freaking touchpad. I believe. I cannot remember now, top of my head. I want to say Spider-Man attempted to use it again. I think that was the last game that attempted to use it.
A lot of people use it for map.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Like within the map. Yeah, like so you can use it to like move within the map and scroll through the map easier.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like that functionality. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. And the way that the reporter, put it makes me feel that it's gonna be there, because if it would be different, I feel that it would have been pointed out. And if you've noticed, nothing so far has pointed out that there's no touchpad. So it's one of those scenarios where I'm just kind of curious.
Make it into a mouse pad.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat.
Because right now it's not working as a mouse pad.
We did also get confirmation that it's going to go from your mini USB to an actual USB-C. So they're actually
good.
catching up to the times. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So it's going to be faster
Fast charge.
for charging and
fast charge.
things of that nature. Instead of, if you accidentally plug it into a fast charger, a micro USB fast charger, it'll fry your controller. I've actually burned 2 controllers that way.
Really?
So, yes. Yes, I've gone through 2 controllers that way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It burns it out, and the controller looks like it's working. It looks like it's charging. Mm-hmm. Everything looks normal, but it's fried. It's completely fried on the inside, so it wouldn't hold a charge anymore. They did confirm that it's going to have a disk drive, so we are still going to be using disk into the system. I'm sure that at some point they'll come out with a diskless version, just like Xbox did, but at least at launch, it sounds like they're going to come out with everything on it.
You're telling me they're not going to have cartridges? It's not a floppy disk?
Oh, God. So, speaking of the disc, they did confirm that it's supposed to be a solid-state drive that is actually coming with the new PlayStation 5. And what they're talking about is that it's supposed to be... You're still going to have to install games, but because of the way that data is read on the disc, they're saying that the install is going to be smaller. So we're not going to have to worry about huge sizes. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'll be interested to figure that out.
I know that the way that SSDs work, it speeds up the loading process.
Yeah, but it should have nothing to do with size, right?
No, I mean
that's my point. The article talked about how PlayStation confirmed that it'll make it so that it won't have to the install won't have to be that big.
I wonder how much that PlayStation is going to be, because SSD. I mean, we're currently on a market where SSDs are not. They're not that expensive. But when you do start getting into the higher price or into the higher terabyte sizes, that's when they start getting a little bit higher in price. But it's not a ridiculous amount either. So I wonder what the price point they're going to be putting this PlayStation at now.
Well, there is an analyst that I can't remember his name. I'm going to see if I can look it up. Give me a second. So while I'm looking it up, he basically is theorizing that it's going to cost about $500. And that's based on what the tech that they've been confirming and talking about. I can't find the person's name. I wish I could give him credit, but it's an analyst. He actually predicted the price of the PlayStation 4 was actually spot on too. But when you think about it, Ricky, it can't be more than $500. If it's more than $500, we'll run into what happened with the PlayStation 3, and people are going to go away from PlayStation. PlayStation, no matter what, PlayStation has to make sure, even if they sell this at a loss, they have to make sure that it's no more than $500. And even then, like realistically, if they have to push it, if they have to, and I really mean they have to push it, they cannot go past 600. At that point, it would basically be like, just, you know what, Xbox, here, just take the next console generation. Let me not even participate. Just go ahead. Just take it all. because we're PlayStation, and everything that you've given your subscribers, we're giving it to them right now because we know we have to do something to make sure that they stay with us for the PlayStation 5. That's right, I said it. Anyway, so yeah, dude, I I hope they has to stay. Like SSD, like you said, yes, it is more expensive, but they are coming down in price. So I'm hoping that it's something that stays within reasonable range. And of course, I'm hoping that you can still upgrade the hard drive. That way, we can do our own
Oh
updates.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Cloud
Um,
storage.
that too. It is confirmed with an 8-core GPU. So that'll be interesting. It's supposed to be competing with what Xbox should hopefully or potentially be having in theirs. We'll find out. And then here's the part that I found the most interesting, and I'm actually happy that it looks like they're actually going to do it. Developers are going to be given the option to split up the way a game is installed. So let's say the game has multiplayer and it has a local feature, your story mode. You're actually going to be able to install one without having to install the other, or just install the one, which to me sounds awesome for games like Call of Duty or games along those lines, simply because maybe what they'll do, hopefully, in a digital market is split them up. Is if you like Call of Duty for the story, download the story, this much. If you like the multiplayer, here's the multiplayer, it's this much. And kind of have a cut in price from one or the other.
Yeah.
Your dog is agreeing with me or disagreeing with me. Don't know which one.
I don't know, man. I think it's disagreeing with you, man.
Oh man.
I'm just afraid that they'll try to use that data. Jesus.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm afraid that they're gonna try to use that data to basically try to leverage. Hey, our single player or campaign modes even relevant
it's
nowadays.
Not selling and
exactly
then,
because they're like, oh yeah, well here's our statistic data where this how many gamers downloaded the actual physical version of the single player verse, the multiplayer version of the game.
True, but at the same time, this may be the unpopular opinion, but if they see that, for example, Call of Duty, nobody cares about the storyline. Why are they going to waste their time on storyline? Just focus on the multiplayer and make the multiplayer the best multiplayer it can be. Similar to games that have the thing with the storyline. They'll be able to see, okay, nobody cares about the multiplayer. Let's go ahead and do the story. So that I can see your concern, but I feel that it might even help us. I feel that there are games right now that people play for story that have multiplayer components in them, and that the developers are thinking that the only reason that person bought the game is because of the multiplayer. But realistically, they may not even be touching the multiplayer, or they may dabble in it and try it, so they technically did it, but it's not something that they really necessarily care about. So I think while yes, there is that potential, I think it may actually work out in our favor to an extent too.
That too.
So we'll see. It's a valid point. It is slightly concerning, but I do still think it's cool that they'll be able to do that. You know what I mean? Have like separate installs. Think of it from a data management perspective. Right now, Grand Theft Auto is taking up like 70 gigs in my drive right now.
Yes,
all right, 85 gigs or something like that. It's ridiculous. However, only half of that is what I'm actually using, because for Grand Theft Auto, for example, I only go on the multiplayer at this point. I played the story, but I'm done with the story. I no longer care about the story. I want to play with just the multiplayer. So it would be nice from a scenario where, okay, now I shouldn't need to install the whole game. Let me just install what I want, and I don't have to worry about anything else. And, save my data.
Or uninstall that half of the game that you no longer need.
That too. You know what I mean? Oh man, I need to install this game. I gotta get rid of something. Oh, I only play the multiplayer on this one. Or, oh, I only care about the story. Let me get rid of the one I don't need.
Yep.
And that helps. So I think it'll be interesting, man. So how do you feel about the PlayStation 5? I've been fangirling over here for a bit.
I mean, I don't truly have a preference, just because I jump between consoles. There's times where I'm just in the mood just to play PlayStation games because of their exclusives. Again, and there's times that I play Xbox games because of their exclusives or the ease of use to get access to some of the games.
Or like you said earlier, you play Switch games because you're in the John.
Pretty much. Now mobile games because I'm mobile, even though the Switch is also mobile, so it makes no freaking sense. But I can use a freaking gamepad now, so shut up.
Okay then, sorry, my bad. Like,
no, I like all consoles. I truly can't say that I have a preference. Now.
Well, this isn't about preference.
No, I know. I know. I'm just trying to set the stage.
Oh, okay.
To me,
to disappoint PlayStation fans everywhere.
Yeah, I love the PlayStation. I love the Xbox. I love the Switch. Blah 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 blah. My heart, I guess, will always go to Xbox a little bit, just because
Traitor.
Just because that was actually the first console that I was actually able to buy by myself. So I always feel that whatever item I always purchase, I feel like a sense of loyalship towards whatever item I buy first. But overall, yes. Would I get the Xbox 5? Yes, eventually. Would I get the new PlayStation 5? Yes. The new Xbox? Yes. The next Switch? It's a Switch Lite, whatever. No, because I already have a superior version of it. So I will not get you until you like truly give me a true upgrade and you no longer give me games on the Switch. But
sure. So many Switches in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have high hopes for the PlayStation. It does hold a lot of the games that I do like the most. Of course, they're gonna have the rise to Spider-Man, which I love Spider-Man.
That was another bit of news that I didn't put even on the show for this week. The confirmation that PlayStation bought Insomniac Games.
Yeah.
So now Insomniac is a first-party PlayStation studio. And here's the other cool part that I also forgot to include. They own the rights to Sunset Overdrive. So Xbox owns... Yes, Xbox owns the first Sunset Overdrive. But Insomniac owns the rights to Sunset Overdrive, period. So they can still make another Sunset Overdrive game.
Interesting.
So... Yes, Sunset Overdrive 2 could potentially come to PlayStation.
But yeah, no. I like PlayStation games. They're first parties, like I said. Spider-Man is one of my favorites. It's my top game. They have God of War. It's a beautiful. So it was a beautiful story. I love the concept. I love the art. I love the gameplay on it. So am I looking forward to the PlayStation 5? Yes, I am.
Sweet. All right, well, everybody, that does it for this week's episode. Now, normally we do have a parenting cheat code of the week, but apparently we didn't have really too much of a cheat code. So for this week's cheat code, we're just literally going to say, don't get sick.
Yeah, take your vitamins.
Take your medicine. If you're a parent like us and you're near our age, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor, get the exams, check the things.
Advice that I can give from my past experiences, I guess you can somewhat make this into a cheat code or a tidbit. Your medication shouldn't take no more than 3 days to at least give you some kind of effect of
kicking in and
some kind of relief.
I think that was the worst part for sure.
Yeah, if you're not feeling any kind of reliefs, by at least the 3rd day of you fully taking the medication, I suggest on the 4th day reach out to your doctor just to confirm that the medication that they have prescribed to you is actually doing what it's supposed to. And
you were at the 3rd day, or were you at the 4th?
I was on the 3rd day when I.
When you were finally like, this is not working.
Yeah, no, I actually got to the point where I couldn't even swallow water. It felt like I was drinking glass.
Yeah.
After 3 days of antibiotics, I should have not been feeling that way. Luckily, I was smart enough to be able to say, hey, I know my system. This is not normal. I went back and I got the proper treatment with the proper medication that I was supposed to get. And I got much better legit by like the 2nd day of me being on the medicine.
Sweet.
So, yes, that is my tidbit for you.
Fair enough. Is there anything you'd like to recommend before we sign off for the week?
I would like to recommend... Actually, I had something that I wanted to recommend. before I had got sick, but I completely forgot what the heck it was. So I'm just gonna recommend, if you have an iPhone, get your damn gamepad. It's super awesome.
Oh man. So, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close this the episode for this week. Don't have anything to recommend, but I did want to make a message for James Kindlesberger. James, I do still have your Gamer on the Street review. We just were not able to edit it for this week's episode, so it'll be part of next week's episode. But we'll get more on that on next week's episode. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody, on this episode of Gaming Data 101. Remember that you can join us each and every week for a brand new episode, or you can check us out over on YouTube for a video on Fridays. You can follow me on social media by following Visk Zen. You can find that underneath me. You can follow Ricky at Picky Gamer Dad. You can find his name underneath him. He's currently mocking me. Remember to follow us at GeekEnd Cast on Twitter and search for GeekEnd Cast on social media or Gaming Data 101. On that note, anybody, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and go to your radio, go to the iTunes site or wherever you listen to this. Excuse me. Go ahead, and what you want to do is you want to go ahead and leave a comment and tell us whether you like the show or not. But the key is you want to give us 5 stars. 5 stars is what makes us go, oh man, we really need to listen to this.
Yep.
This is like key. This is like important to read. So go ahead and give us 5 stars and go ahead and write a comment on what you thought of the show. But that's the key, 5 stars. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this week's episode. We'll see you next week.
Luego.